1, 2, 3. You are joined by Anton.
Also, Ola.
I just want to switch up every now and again.
You got it, man. You got this.
We need a new intro, innit?
Yeah, no, it's coming.
Alright, so we're back with another episode, and today what we're going to be talking about, I'm going to jump straight into it. We're going to be talking about why do you save? Mm-hmm. What's the reason you save?
Okay.
So, there are a number of things that people save up for.
Yeah.
Some people are saving up for the house. Mm-hmm. Some people are saving up for the car. Mm-hmm. Maybe a short-term goal. Maybe going away on a little trip.
Yeah.
Nice little bit of travelling, catch some sun.
Yeah, flights, not feelings.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
Some people are just saving up for a rainy day.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go straight into it.
Cool.
What are your reasons for saving?
Cool. Great question, great topic. My reasons for saving, I think you kind of touched on it briefly there. I've got short-term and long-term cases I'm saving for. Short-term, so the next, 3, 6, 12 months, the next year roughly, build back up my emergency fund.
Well, you spent it?
Not that I spent it, but just...
Who did you spend it on?
Things happen in it. So I stupidly flipped a car. So occasionally I buy and sell cars, people. So I use some of the money I'm like, this is an easy flip. And it would have been a nice one, innit? But life is life. So the car was 1K to buy from the guy. It retails for about 3K, just under 3K. And I can't remember what was wrong, but whatever was wrong with it was literally just £300 worth. So I was like, easy flip.
Yeah.
The mechanic did the work. I'm like, yeah, we're winning. Went to pick it up. I'm driving the car back, and the car was literally, I can't remember what road I was on, whatever. But I'm literally just there, I was
doing a kind of bunny hop.
It was just bunny hop. I'm like, this is not right. And this was at 30 miles. I was just doing 30. I'm like, nah, something's wrong. The thing starts smoking. I'm smelling burning. I was like, nope, I'm not about this. Pulled up, got out the car. I'm like, wagwan. I open the bonnet, and this is 8, 9, 10, so it's late. I'm like, I do not need this. Anyway, left it for a bit, managed to get back, got some petrol, took it home, everything was cool. Got another mechanic to check it out. They were like, bro.
Swear.
It was a madness. So basically, I took a hit with that.
What was wrong with it?
He was just telling me, I was like, I don't even want to know. I was like, just...
Swear down.
Yeah, it was a couple things. So the first 2 things he told me, I was just like, okay, fair enough. Then he mentioned some other stuff, and I was just like, don't mess with me again. Just do what you need to do. So that was a massive hit.
So well done for the car.
I ended up selling it, but obviously I lost in it. And then a few other things kind of happened. Went on holiday, had to spend a bit more to come back and stuff. And then
you got stuck in customs.
Customs
held you up. So
missed flight. So had to sort that out. But that's the thing. That's the whole point of an emergency fund, is that in the case of an emergency,
rainy day,
when things go wrong, and in life things sometimes do happen, you're prepared. You're ready to take the hit, and it has wider implications to your mental health. But I'll get into that later. So short term, build that back up. Birthday's coming up soon, and Christmas. I always tell people,
I swear your birthday's in November.
Yeah, but this is the thing. Remember, this is the thing with birthdays and Christmas, is that they come around every year on the same day, right? But whenever they come around, people are always unprepared. Oh my word, my birthday or your birthday, I didn't get you a present, or
I'm sorry, I can't be thinking of other people's birthday when I'm trying to sort out my own finances.
No, I'm not saying you have to think about someone else's birthday, but sometimes your own. On Christmas.
Oh yeah.
The point is, it happens every time at the same year.
Christmas
it's the same,
is a madness.
But it's the same with insurances. You know your insurance renews on the 5th of June every year. Why is it that now it's the 4th of June and you're panicking? Christmas,
these times, it's when the money starts fluctuating,
Boy.
You start paying.
But you can prepare. You can still put away a couple, I don't know, however much you can for each month. You can put something away. Not necessarily.
It means you have to tighten up the belt.
It either comes from your monthly spending, or you do put it from your savings. Because it's coming from one of those either way in December anyway. It's either you take a bit from each month now, or you take that massive hit. And I've just learned to balance it. So I take a bit from each month. Then that means I usually take a lot less at Christmas. Because a lot of people forget that Christmas to January payday, that's a long dry month. Because you get paid early in December.
Get paid on 20th.
20th, sometimes earlier. Yeah. I remember Christmas, you're going ham anyway.
Yeah,
Turkey, presents.
Yeah.
You're at home, so you're not. Again, you're going
People are
out.
like, we've got time. Come we go.
Thank
Come
you.
we go for a meal. You're like, yeah.
We
Let's
just
have a
have
Christmas
one.
dinner.
Let's do another one, man.
And you're like,
You're spending a lot more.
allow it.
So that you've got a longer payday rate. So it's something to think about. So there's that. What else? The house as well.
So wait.
And then long term.
So the short term is you're saving up for
Short term
this
emergency fund, build that back up. The house, any short like trips or holidays coming up, birthdays, sisters getting married in October, so having to put towards that. Long term, we're looking at what house. Well, that's more my medium term retirement. So thinking it's way ahead, but I think it's
you know, the FIRE movement.
The FIRE.
Yeah, financial.
What
was it? Financial
independence, retire early. Yeah. So I'm thinking 45. So yeah, that's more medium to long term. Thinking about that.
About 17 years.
Probably, yeah.
I'm on.
You got to plan things then. Obviously, wanting to start a family and have children and thinking about their education, saving for them. So there's a lot that goes into.
You say private school.
It's a consideration, but I've looked at them fees and just the way my account is
What's
set up
this
currently.
word? Did you say fire?
Boy.
Private school? No, I don't know about that.
Boy. The way my account is looking right now, I'm like, gonna be a state school for now, kids. I love you.
There's nothing wrong with that, innit?
So that for me is like the main kind of focus now. But when you think about yourself, what are you thinking about short term and long term? So in terms of savings, what are you thinking about? Because obviously it is different for everyone.
Yeah.
It is different. You know, some people classic say, you know, housing, wedding, whatever it is. What is it for you at this moment in time?
Long-term goals. I say that. I'm in a point now where financially I'm ready to make next moves. So I've been saving up for the house.
Okay.
So for the longest period of time, let's say since the age of 18, purchasing my own place has always been like the goal, the dream, the reason I'm saving. So I'm now at a point where cool, money's there. Now the next thing's execution or finding a decent place where, you know, I want to buy, I want to renovate, I want to do it up, probably rent it out and whatever. So that is like a goal that's happening, well, not right now as opposed to medium, long term. And then if you're going to extend on that, I say medium is getting that one property and then making it two and then making it three.
Okay.
So although I'm saving up to one house, my journey in terms of saving hasn't stopped. So it's a continuation. And then when I think about long term, it is the aspect of how can I accumulate money into a large pot and then make it start rewarding me back. So is it growing and is it going in line with inflation where they say my little £100 today and then I look at it in 10 years and that £100 value is no longer worth £100, it's £50. And it's just been sitting in the bank. I'm not going to be happy with that. But what I really want to do is have that £100 and see it multiply. Okay. So in 10 years, it's £200. You're like, wow, how did it become £200?
Got that compound interest.
So, you know, when I think about my financial situation, it's in a level of... So I'm going to be very honest on this podcast. My first job, I started on 37,000. So my position was slightly different to most people. So average salary in the UK, especially in London, is 30,000 or 32,000. So I was kind of one step ahead, and then I was getting shift allowance, so that was taking me up to about 45. So this is out of uni, and I've naturally from that point was actively saving for the reason of traveling at that time and also copping a house. And you know, I'm 6 years down the line and I still ain't copped the house. So it's, you know, it could have happened. But then I've allowed other things to happen along the way, which is cool. But I've naturally kind of tried to put aside money every month. So they say kind of pay yourself first. Yeah. Or always take out your money straight into savings. Yeah. So for me, money comes in, I'm like, rah, how much can I put away? I try and put 50% of my salary. I'm like, cool, straight into the account. Close my eyes, it's gone, direct debit, it's in that account. Now, what do I have left to play? And usually that money that I've got left to play is enough to cover my expenses, to go out every now and again, have a nice little meal, and to pay for bills and all that other stuff. Like, it's a very comfortable position. But just overall, my main concern was, do I feel financially comfortable? Yeah. And then what do I need and what do I want?
What do you mean by financially comfortable?
So not living, so you spoke about emergency funds? Yeah. So emergency funds, I always say, try and aim for Work out your expenses.
Yeah.
Work out how much you spend on a month. Don't be like, I think last month was £400, but know it.
Yeah.
Like literally
Down
know
to a
it.
penny.
I've got a spreadsheet, and I sat down with a financial advisor like 2 months ago, and I came through my spreadsheet, and he's like, bro, usually this takes a bit of time, but you seem to have everything in check, because I want to know my finances, and it's not really that hard to do. You just go through and you go, what comes out of my account every single month? You know what's coming out of your account. You got your phone bill, electricity, gas, broadband. You got your rent. You know the fixed amounts.
Yeah.
Now the bit that you have to kind of work out is how much do I spend on just fun times. So then you set aside a spending budget. So you got that money. So you work that out. So then when you tie that into your emergency fund, you're taking your expenses and you say, bro, this world's kind of peak. My job might decide, sorry, Anton, got to go. I can't be angry. I'll be upset. I can't be angry. It's just the way the world is. Can I survive for 3 months? Can I survive for 6 months? Have I got a large enough amount that I can be comfortable without having income coming in? So that's what I mean by like financially educated or comfortable, because right now, single, I ain't got a child. I ain't got no real kind of like ties holding me down. So right now in this element, I'm comfortable. Bring a you into the world, I'm comfortable.
Different dynamic.
Different. So right now in this situation, financially comfortable, but that doesn't mean that I stop there. It means that I keep on looking forward. But I've got to have that emergency fund, because that enables me to, maybe just dip into the money if I need to. Car situation. If I need to change a tire.
Because I'm into your bumper and something happened.
So the bumper situation is different because it's a company car. It was covered by insurance. But there's probably other stuff that's come about, and I've been like, you know what? I don't have the money in my current account, but let me just look under the carpet. There you go. There's some money. So
that in and of itself is, I think, highly important. Obviously, we are talking about short term, long term, and the importance of saving, and I think the implications it has on your mental health. Like I said, that it's obviously that we can go into a bit later, but if you're in a position where you have a car, a tire has been burst, or the plumbing's gone, the gas heater's gone, something's kind of gone array. If you're in a position where you can just dip into that emergency fund, which is what it's for, take care of that liability, you're like, okay, peace of mind. But if you're in a position where you haven't got that money saved, you haven't got a credit card, you haven't got people you can turn to, you got paid last week, so you're waiting for about 3.5 weeks to the next payday, you are stressed. You're up at night, and it's not a pleasant feeling. It's not a pleasant feeling. Like,
what can you do in that situation? Because is it down to your spending you have to kind of evaluate?
It's tough. The thing is,
you have to grind a bit harder.
The thing is, it's tough because ordinarily I would say potentially it's probably down to your expenditure, your saving. But when you look at a place like London,
mad.
Like on the real, like I've read so many articles and I've spoken to so many people.
I live at home right now, so that's why I'm saving additional money living back in London.
But honestly, like I've spoken to people who have sort of said, "Oh, like I pay rent. My rent is close to £1,000."
Mad.
And this is 1 bedroom, like shared,
ensuite bathroom.
Literally,
nice, calm.
Yeah. So you've got rent, transport costs are high. You're paying £200-300 to get around London
a month.
And then when you factor in things like council tax, bills, food,
it adds up.
It's not that they don't want to save, but it's like they're just saying to me, "Oh, like there's nothing to
Some
save."
people are spending at least 70% of their salary
literally
on just living.
And it just, when you think about it, it's just disgusting.
Meaning you're spending more time at work anyway
to pay for a house you're not in. And the thing is, you should, the sort of, there are kind of averages and standards. So the average is that, or the saying is that you should not spend more than 30 to 35% on your accommodation. And like you said, 70% is realistic for a lot of people in London. They're spending 70+% just to live. So they're struggling to save. So they literally physically cannot afford for their phone to get broken.
It's hard.
To lose a bus pass. And when you're in that position, dynamics really change. And again, it just affects you mentally. And it's hard. Like, it's hard. There's no easy way to say it. It is difficult.
Yeah,
like
I'm thinking there's other aspect of it, of people. Your home needs to be a comfortable space. So I understand why people spend money in, if they decide to live in a 1-bed flat or anything like that. I can understand that. And there's times I've moved back home. I've been at home for, I don't even know, I'm going to say like 8 months. When I left uni, I had my freedom. I had a 2-bed flat. I had a comfortable life. I come back to my house now. and I'm in a flipping small box room. And it's just, it's hard, but it's a short-term sacrifice to work out the next steps.
I'm with you. Because I'm in that same position where I've come from, just doing what I want when I want. Whereas home, it's like mum and dad, because they're accustomed to, where you go in, the dishes need to be done. I'm just like, oh no. Yeah. But again, it's a small price to pay for the long term.
Because there's that level of your home, it needs to be a comfortable space. And I understand that some people can't be at home or be back at mum and dad's house. Because it's time for them to move on. So I understand the kind of predicament people are in. And I also know that some people would prefer to live by themselves as opposed to other people. I'm done with sharing. I can't share. People are nasty. People are disgusting. But sometimes you have to make that serious sacrifice and be like, you know what? For 6 months, I might have to put myself in a shared place and save potentially £500 in 6 months. 3k. What can I do with that 3k?
Yeah.
You don't know.
Yeah.
But sometimes you have to kind of, I don't know, go with the feel of maybe I have to make this little cut here.
Yeah.
Maybe cut
sacrifice.
My gym's £60 a month. Maybe I shouldn't be doing that.
Can I go to Pure Gym 20 a month? Use a discount code 15. I think there are so many different ways where you can make those cuts and those savings. Again, everyone's situation is different. Like, it's obviously different for us to sit here and say, we can do this, do that. But I know everyone's situation is completely different. Not everyone has their parents or family, or everyone's situation is different. So I don't think there's any kind of like hard and fast rules for everyone. It is highly subjective, but I think to have that in mind is important, because obviously we kind of, before the episode, we looked at stats, and I know we've both done this in the past, and what was it? There was one that I saw that kind of spoke about the sort of top level of spending that we do as Brits in the UK. So if you kind of take away, household spending, so take away your rent, your utilities, your bills, your basic standard of living, some of the top things that we spend money on are holidays.
Apparently 34% of people's saving goes towards a holiday, or their reason behind saving is a holiday. You need to get away.
You got to have time away. You got holidays, you've got clothes, you've got cars, you've got the wedding. There was one on gigs, and apparently takeaway was quite high for millennials as well.
Yeah.
And when you think about it, you think all these things that we spend money on, is that taken away from our ability to save? But then at the same time,
you gotta find that healthy.
That's the thing. They have their place and they're there for a reason, and we spend money on these things for a reason.
Convenience of foods. Yeah,
it's not even. It's also just like,
I was at work till 10 o'clock. What else am I gonna do?
Yeah, because you need to sleep. But the thing, like holidays, for example, that's an experience. I think we all need that time to. It doesn't need to be anywhere fancy like Bali or what. It could just be another city in the UK. But I think it's important for all of us to have that time away just to re-energize, because your job's not your life. I always tell people it's not your life. You have a life outside of your 9 to 5. You're more than just your job. And I think it's important for us to be able to get away from work and really just relax. So again, that time is being spent wisely. I have had discussions and arguments with people where they'll speak about the wedding, spend X amount on the wedding, it's my special day, and I'll sort of come back and say, well, my thing is this. You spend 12, 13 months thinking about and planning a wedding, right? You spend the money on the wedding, cool. Are you putting that same energy into your long-term life? The wedding is one day. It is an amazing day. It is a beautiful day. Have you put the same energy into retirement? Your retirement is going to be realistically 15, 20 plus years. You spent a year on that wedding, are you going to put that same amount of energy into your pension, into your retirement?
The pension one's a whole different one.
Your parents' one as well. Have you thought about long-term care for your parents? Do they have insurances and healthcare? And again, I watch people spend. It's the same with cars, and I've been guilty of this myself. I watch people and myself do like 3-4 months on Auto Trader. What car do I want? The Beamer. Like, which car am I going to get? What's the mileage? The viewing?
Situation.
And I'm sort of thinking, I understand that you need to get around, but again, are we putting the same energy into saving? If you lost your phone, if you lost your Oyster card, have you got that emergency fund to dip in and take care of it? But you've got the nicest car. You got that 18, 19 plate. And no one ever thinks about depreciation.
It's that sacrifice that people are making, because there's this whole live for the now, live for the moment, because you don't know if tomorrow's going to be promised.
Very true.
Very true. Retirement, because people are saving towards their retirement. Like your employee might be adding to your estate pension and whatever.
4-5%.
That's cool. But retirement age is going to constantly move up. So let's say by the time that we retire, it's going to be 69, 70. We just don't know. Now, if you put that in line with life expectancy,
Yeah.
depending for males, we kind of, when compared to females, we die
82,
earlier.
isn't it? Yeah.
So let's say you get your retirement 70, you got 15 years,
Mhm.
but you're not well bodied. You're not like
That's the
there.
thing.
You can't be
That's
like,
the thing.
yo. So I'm gonna go traveling now. You could,
Your body's like.
depending how you're looking after yourself now. But at the same time, you want to live. You want to make sure you're having a great time. So there's this whole. We're only in our 20s, late 20. I'm 28. You're 27, right?
Yeah.
So we have been grinding hard. We have been saving hard, but we don't know tomorrow's promise. But are we gonna be able to look back and be like, yeah, we lived life?
But then that's the thing. So, because you know, and rest in peace to all the people we've known who have kind of like, you know, lost their lives sadly in the last sort of year and a bit. Is there then that case to kind of say, look, at any moment in time, life is so delicate that I could literally lose it all. I could die. I could just be
blow it all.
No, that's what I'm saying. But I'm saying, is there that kind of case or that argument for, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going in. I'm going to go casino. I'm going to put it all on red. The next Anthony Joshua fight, I'm going to put that mortgage deposit on it.
Don't even.
I'm going to go. I'm just going to go.
Even.
Like, is there that case? Because at the same time, I think I used to be on the other sort of extreme of, we need to think about saving and retirement. And then people are like, bro,
The other side of it is knowing the fact that we might live up to 80. Yeah. I say that it's like Gary Vee. He's like, bro, you're only 20, man. I would be
Gotta work.
But he's like, yeah, fluffy work, but like, you know, this is your time. You got to grind. You got to do this, which is right because you got the energy. But at the same time, depends when you want to retire. By 30, everything could just fall into place. You could be getting yourself out of debt, more money's coming in, you're financially savvy, you're saving. 30, 40, 50, your life is calm.
Yeah.
Your 20s, yeah. You Bambi legs shaking, your money wasn't on job like that. But I also feel that we shouldn't always put too much pressure on ourselves financially, because we do have a vision, we know what we want, we're kind of, society's putting this kind of pressure on us, the Beamer, I gotta look nice when I go out. What, festival season?
Yeah, come on.
Luke Arms, come on. Jeez. All day. Gym? Yes, bang that out. Yes, gotta spend money. Enjoy it. Mm-hmm. Don't put yourself out of pocket where you're like, hey, baked beans, overdraft, credit cards,
Jeez.
Like you're saying, emotionally that will kind of mess you up because you're in debt. You're gonna wake up, you're gonna be like, I can't get myself out of that.
Stress.
So live, but don't put yourself in the circumstance of, I can't, my credit card is due, I can't really afford it. I'm doing minimum payments now because £25 a month, that's all they want, but APR's still going up, meaning that it's a difficult challenge.
You know what? Someone mentioned the episode we had with Jim McKell on weddings, and I think she just embodied it perfectly, where she kind of said, cut your cloth according to your size. I think people sometimes, we overextend ourselves in certain situations. Oh, my boys have got a BMW.
Stay in your lane.
You could afford the Ford KA or the bus.
Stay in your lane.
Stay in your lane and just do what works for you.
You got your emergency fund, yeah? If your Beamer breaks down, can you afford to pay for the repairs?
No. You haven't even got money for petrol.
Nah.
You put olive oil in your ting.
The car situation, and you touched on it about depreciation. So I've had my car for 3 years, Volkswagen Scirocco, nice sexy car, enjoy it, gives me so much thrills.
Wow.
Maya, yes, car's got a name. When I first got it, the list price was £28,345. Mm-hmm. 3 years later, guess how much it is valued?
22.
Hey, you're funny.
Banter.
Mad banter. Keep on going. Lower.
18. You told me, but I've forgotten.
Yeah, this is what
15?
Is lower.
For real?
For real. We're talking about
12?
Thereabouts. So
in 3 years.
It's lost 60% of its value.
In 3 years.
In 3 years.
A man are willing to find... In 3 years.
Man are willing to stunt. There's a song, rest in peace, like you said to many people, Cadet. If your money's not like that, then don't do it. So you might be driving that nice tinted window. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's not yours. Recognize that.
It's not yours.
It's not nice because it's a lease thing. Live in the moment. Yeah. But your money's not like that because your money's not like that.
But why do you think people do it though? Why do you think people feel the need?
It feels good. I ain't gonna deny it. Listen, if it wasn't a company car, If it wasn't a company car, I wouldn't be in this situation. But I like it. You know, you rock up.
Is that you? 2-door?
Not even the 2-door shit.
Come on.
Not even that. It's me. When I'm in it, I'm like, yeah.
Sport mode, yeah.
Yeah. It's gone. I enjoy it. Situation, if that was money coming out my pocket, man will have a 10-year, I don't even know 10 years, right? It's like 6-year VW Golf. Probably 50,000 miles.
Yeah.
Situation is different. I've got the emergency fund for the car, just in case a tire pops.
Yeah.
And all that other stuff. Like my money situation would be different.
Yeah. When are you gonna get the Honda Jazz at one point?
Yeah, but that was more of a rental thing.
Okay.
That wasn't. Okay. That was a hustle thing.
Okay, I'm with you. Even with the car situation, because I remember when I had my car, and kind of like the sort of tire would burst, and I just thought, I'm just glad. Yeah, because it just happens.
Yeah.
But even still, like what I did to minimize the impact of it, because as soon as I got the car, I noticed that it takes money. Fair enough, insurance was paid, MOT, whatever. But when you think about the amount you spend on petrol each month, and I used to go around because this was Bristol to London, so we're talking a 5-hour journey because it's 2.5 roughly each way. And so what I did to kind of help minimize that impact was again the rental. So I put my car on. It was Easy Car Club or whatever it was. It's defunct now, but there's a car club called Drivey where you can put your car. So the way it is you put your car on there. If someone wants to rent it, they rent it out. You get a bit of money. It wasn't life changing, but it meant that I didn't pay for petrol for a good couple months, and things like that can make the difference because I've saved that amount of money that I would have spent on petrol.
Listen,
and
if
whenever
you got a house, Airbnb, that's spare room. Make that money come in.
There's ways. Even if you have things like cameras or equipment, there's another website called Fat Llama, which is it's the same concept. You can rent out your camera, your drone. You can rent out different things. There's obviously insurance as well.
YouTubers like, I bought my 4K camera, but it's still sitting there with dust.
Boy.
Rent it out.
There's different ways. Like there's so many different ways. And I always try and tell people, if you have got something that is a liability, at least let's try to minimize the impact. And again, it just goes back to kind of short-term saving and long-term saving and having that vision. And something that we mention a lot is that self-awareness. Being self-aware of your situation, being unique to yourself. Because everyone's situation is different. Because sometimes I ask people those difficult questions. If, God forbid, a family member, a parent, someone kicked the bucket, would you be able to pay that £6,000 for the tombstone or for the funeral? And they're just like,
life insurance, guys. Get life insurance.
But even that, but I don't want to spend £20 that life insurance.
It's cheaper than paying that 6K.
Thank you. Like just kind of pay it out. And I've been to some of these events where one of the speakers will kind of say one of the fastest ways to inject wealth or money, and it does sound crude, but it's the reality, is through insurance. If someone does leave, what are they leaving? Because I remember I saw it was something mad. It was like, are they leaving you with bills or are they leaving you with money? That's the reality.
It's your pot.
It's a harsh reality, but I want to be in a position where when I pass and God willing is in a long time and a very sort of fruitful life, is that I don't pass on debt. I pass on knowledge and power and I guess money, and that my death will bring about betterment for a lot of people. And I think it's something that a lot of people just don't think about. People just kind of go about their lives with no insurance, without having these conversations, without thinking about
that's an education thing as well.
It is education, and it's again, but for me, self-awareness, because you don't know what you don't know.
But how are you gonna have that awareness?
How did we come to the level of knowledge we have?
I put myself out there.
Put yourself out there. Read books. Read books. You went to events. You learn, and then you learn from because for me it was more of like a sort of tunnel hole. So I go to one event or I read a book. They mention a concept, 80-20 Pareto, or 80-20 with saving or spending or whatever. And I'm like,
money jar systems.
Yeah. You go to an event to learn more about it. You meet more people speaking about other concepts, and then from there you just kind of build this massive web. And then from there, I've just tried my best to just share that information out. Have you heard about this? No? Would you consider trying it? Have you heard about national savings and investments? A great place to save your money, backed by government or whatever. Yeah, there are so many different things. You don't know about investing? You don't need 10 grand. Times have changed. You can invest with as little as £25 a month. There are so many different ways. Have you got that emergency fund? Fair enough, you can't put 6 months in. Have you at least got £1 grand or 1 month's worth? Have you got something to give you that peace of mind? There's so many different lessons that we've learned over time.
Do you know one way that I feel that a lot of people can get to that emergency fund?
How?
Some people get bonuses. let that bonus be, bruv.
Yeah.
Just put it straight into the saving. Close your eyes. It never happened.
Yeah, just
if you're in that situation of like, boy, this emergency fund sounds difficult.
Yeah.
Let that saving come. Let that bonus come in. And just let it.
Just
slide into the account.
Just don't forget about it. You don't need that jacket. You don't need cashmere. You need that. No, it's true. It's true. Because I sometimes I just see people who, when they do come into a bit of money, it just so quickly. Because I don't know if this happens to you, but sometimes I'll be on YouTube and I'll just go down. I'll watch one video. I'm like, one more before bed. Until I'm on some like next tangent watching random videos. Anyway, I just went from watching. Who was I watching? I can't remember what I was watching, but I ended up watching this like sort of like a documentary or like a series on people who had won the lottery and then they'd all lost it all.
Yeah.
And I was just like,
how
are you gonna lose 20 million? But then one thing that was common between all of them was they were not accustomed to money and they just did not have that money management. So we talk about short term and long term. It all boils down to that money management. You can make 10 million. You can make 20k. The person on 20k could save more than the person on 20 million. How are you managing that money? These people who had come into money, they were not accustomed to it. They did not know how to respect money. And one thing I always tell people, again, we've mentioned it already, and it's helped me, is the automation. You get paid on the last day of the month. Set up direct debits to take all your payment, all your savings, all your direct debits on that day, so that when you check your account, you know that you've got money saved up, you know, you've paid all your bills, you're chipping away at your debt, and you're taking care of things. Yes, things do happen, but I think it helps. For me, it definitely just helps, because sometimes I would have just forgotten to put money into my savings, and I would have spent it on something else, or like
if it's easy to access. Like Monzo's got these little pots now, so you can
put money in like hard way. And there was one that you mentioned a long time ago. It's Yo, isn't it?
Yo is dope.
It's mad because I haven't actually used it in a while, but the concept just makes so much sense.
You integrate all your different bank accounts, Halifax, Santander, American Express.
Everything.
You see it in one glance.
And it's like, you can see how much money you really have.
And you're like, whoa, my credit card's
that much.
How much is in my current account?
Okay.
Oh, wow. I'm going to be left with £10 now.
Boy, that's the thing. You can see how much you really have, as opposed to all these accounts being sort of segregated. And it's crazy. It's crazy what we spend our money on and what we value, you know, what we put our energy towards.
You seriously need to just... For me... It started young. It started when I decided to move out to Bristol for work.
Yeah. And
I had 2 jobs at the time. One was paying me 30k, one was paying me 37 plus the additional the additional allowances. And I was looking at it, I was like, if I stayed here in London, this is how much I'll be able to save. If I moved to Bristol, this is how much I'll be able to save. I calculated everything. I was like, in Bristol, I'm going to need a car, petrol's going to cost this, rental's going to cost this. In London, I'm going to be here, but transport's going to cost this. How much am I left with after my expenses? Yeah. These are the numbers. Cool. This is what I have to work to every single month. Back then, it was like £600 going into savings every month. Cool. Keep building that up. Over time, you don't have to, but one stream of income is not always enough.
Yeah.
I was fortunate enough to take a year of travelling. You know, I wasn't paid. I spent 12k traveling, and I came back and I still survived. Went Vegas, you know, like
lived in
Morocco. But no, it's more of like it didn't just come from my salary. You know, the first year of real trading in terms of buying and selling electronics, I made 14k profit. Last year for the tax year, so what? 18, 19, made a loss of 3k. You see the difference? It's up, it's down. But at the same time, I had stocks. I lost money in crypto. Yeah. You know, but for me, having that financial kind of emergency fund enables me to be like, what money's left after I spent everything, more expensive? I get some money left over, what can I do with that? Or make that kind of tactical decision of, you know what, let me just put an extra £800 here and put it into stocks. Or maybe put a bit more into stocks just to see what happens. Because piggy bank of workplace does alright, but if you want more, if you want to take yourself to the next stage, like you've got to put in, but you got to know your numbers. You got to go back. You got to use Yo every single month and be like, "Rah, that's how much." You got to know your numbers.
You have to.
You can't just be like Willie and Diddy, like, "Yeah, it's calm.
I'll do it next." No, it's not enough. Do you ever think that
I
It's
tell you
too
what,
late.
dating is expensive. I'm dating again.
Oh yeah.
That's expensive.
Boy.
My budget's mad right
Cost
now.
of coffee, man.
Fam.
No.
Anyway, sir, you said.
That's like the shard, all of that.
No. Can't.
Do you ever feel like there's a point where it's too late?
Nah.
Do you ever feel like some people are like, you know what? I'm past 35.
Nah.
I've got 8 kids. It's too late. Can't save.
Nah.
I'm done out here.
You don't know what's around the corner.
Mm.
You don't know what's around the corner.
Mm.
If you stay in your current circumstances and, you know, your £7.50 an hour job is not going to increase anymore, you have to kind of think about what you need to do.
Yeah, I think it's just having that action. That action's got to be taken.
Nothing's going. I made a loss last year.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Mm.
I'm saying this and I'm like, yeah, it's an L. You can't guarantee. I put in work for it.
It never is, but that's the thing with money though. Money is up and down. Like we know it comes and goes. Like we both know it comes and goes. I've lost, you've lost, we've lost.
Yeah.
It comes and goes. It definitely comes and goes. I think also people's attitude to money is something that is really important as well.
It's a whole nother.
How do you see and treat money? Is it just a thing for you to buy, just to buy stuff you like, consumables, or is it more? I just see it. I'm starting to see it. I see it more as a tool now. Back in the day, yeah, the Louis V belt, all that stuff, that was me, consumables. Tuck the jacket in. Everyone's got to see it. Whereas now I'm like, this is a tool, and what are tools for? Tools are for betterment. What's the car for? To get you from A to B faster than walking. You know, and the way I kind of see money is the same light I used to see fire or medicine. Fire can cook your food, keep you warm, or if in the wrong hands, fire can kill you, burn down your house, burn down your surrounding. Same with drugs. Drugs can cure you if you're in hospital.
Don't do drugs, kids.
Don't do drugs. Drugs can be used as anaesthetic to, you know, put you under so you feel less pain.
How you use it.
Drugs, but at the same token, heroin, crack, cocaine, it's different angles, and I think it's the same with money. I think it's your attitude to money. It is a tool. What are you using it for? Your betterment or just consumption? Yeah. And again, I think it's just finding that fine balance of understanding it as a tool. But because it's used in our everyday lives, I think some people just have a misguided view of what it is and how it works.
There's an app called Dozen, which is supposed to give you 5%. It's similar to Monzo. It's supposed to give you a 5% interest on your money. But they had a snap screen way back, and they're showing that, you know, people spend on average, let's call it £5 on coffee each day.
Yeah.
And it times that by 240. I can't do the maths off the top of my head, but they calculate that as just say 300, 1,500. You could save 1,500 if you just cut out the coffee in your day-to-day living.
Yeah.
Big man, that's your holiday.
Literally, it was called, someone made a book on it, it was called The Latte Factor. Yeah. And it was literally that, the money you spend on a latte or whatever, just put that away. Yeah, and you got the money there. Things, you know? That's the thing.
Don't go shopping hungry.
So it's the attitudes, yeah, don't go shopping hungry. I think it's the attitude as well, the way you kind of see it.
You want to go out for a meal? Nah, come round, why don't we just make pasta at home?
That's me.
You want to go Italian? Yeah? I got it. You want Nando's?
Italian meatballs.
Buy the Nando's sauce and then
we'll marinate the chicken the night before. I got you.
Yeah.
Wedges, corn. I got you.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Those kind of thinking. So anything's possible. You could be 45. Your circumstances might not be ideal. You might have 8 kids, but you probably are. No, they love the 8 kids, but the 8 kids are demanding. Yeah. Oh, daddy, shoe. I swear I bought you new shoes last week. Yeah. But I've grown. Anyway. No. But eventually you work out. It's a long journey. That's one thing I've come to terms with. That my financial goals, I've got a spreadsheet. I have many spreadsheets. Every month I work out my expenses, and it came from the aspect of having the business of working out my P&L, my profit and loss every single month, but also my own personal account for Anton. Yeah. And every single month I'm going through it. I also have a spreadsheet which is called Road to Freedom. Sounds mad, but there's a figure on it, and every single month I'm putting down the figures. And you know, the months of where I was making losses, it's taking me further away from my destination.
But it's probably increased the fire and desire to be like,
No, because it can be disheartening. It can be like, I'm now 2K behind my original target. Like, come on.
Yeah, that's the fire. That's the energy.
Nah, it's more like, man, I did put in some shifts. Like, why is it not working out yet? And that's disheartening. Just got to keep on pushing. And one day, and this is the belief, one day I'll close my eyes and it will be there. I'm like, how did that happen?